Sean Haney here with RealAgriculture.com and Real Ag Radio, Rural Radio 147, Sirius XM. You can hear every weekday at 4:30 Eastern on Rural Radio on Sirius. Okay, big announcement, exciting news. Somebody I've known for a very, very long time, and this is kind of a big day, and I'm very honored to be able to speak to him today. We're talking to the new CEO of Canterra Seeds, and that is Brent Derkatch. Brent, congratulations.
Thanks, Sean. Really appreciate it, and thanks for reaching out for a conversation today.
Yeah, so this is, like I said, a pretty big day, and the announcement has just gone live here today on this Monday. And Dave Hansen, a longtime CEO, roughly about 14 years, is retiring. And so the announcement's been made that you're going to be the new CEO. Brent, talk about your emotions here today as you take on a role in an organization that you are no stranger to.
Yeah, this has been a long time at Canterra Seeds. I'm coming up on 22 years with the organization and 25 years in total in the seed industry. But it's an incredible honor, quite frankly. I've been able to see the business grow and evolve and sometimes ebb and flow over a period of time. But I grew up on a farm and never expected, really at the time when I entered the industry that I would be in this position. But it is a very dynamic, incredible industry to be a part of. And I've been able to grow and evolve with it over my almost 22 years at Canterra. And now there's some pretty big shoes to fill, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah, 22 years, is that how long it's been you've been there?
Yeah, it's been coming up in a month and a half will be 22 years at Canterra in various roles. I've had, I think, about 5 different titles officially over my time, but most recently the director of the Pedigreed Seed Business.
Now, going forward, what do you see as some of the, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to diving into as the new leader of the organization? What are some of those key priorities going forward?
Well, the farmer customer is number one, most certainly. The way that we're going to treat customers is going to continue to evolve in a very positive light, making sure that when we're bringing products to market, they are not just new products, but new and improved products. We've got a very diverse portfolio of cereals, pulses, special crops, and canola. And we're providing those genetics to farmer customers through various plant breeding partnerships, many of them very long-term partnerships. And so it's going to be a combination of those new and improved products and also just the relationships that we have by connecting with those farmer customers.
Just to look backwards for a second, what impact did now former CEO Dave Hansen have on your career and getting you to this point?
Yeah, he's been an incredible coach, not just to myself and my colleagues at Canterra, but the broader industry. He's been very involved in various associations. So he's been doing a lot of heavy lifting, I would say, even beyond the borders of Canterra. But for me personally, he has really set a high expectation of professionalism, of leadership, of doing what's right for the customer, and just that details really matter. We really focus on those details in everything we do, whether it's from a marketing and communication perspective, whether it's from, how we choose and select our new products, how we manage our seed production and distribution. It's all about doing what's right and doing it to the most professional standards. And so that has been instilled and ingrained in all of us at Canterra Seeds.
Now, LCRC is the plant breeding JV with Lima Grain cereals. Talk about the importance that venture plays in the future of Canterra.
Yeah, that organization was established with the first field season in 2016, and like any breeding program, it does take some time for products to come to the marketplace, and so. We've already commercialized a couple of spring wheat varieties, one Canadian Western Red Spring and one Canadian Prairie Spring Red variety. And we have a few others that are in seed production. But this is really about ensuring security of supply of cereal varieties, namely wheat, that we can then offer to our seed grower shareholder network across Western Canada and ultimately to those farmer customers out there. So have some opportunity to license some pea and lentil varieties from the Lima Grain and Saskatchewan Pulse Growers partnership. That's a really encouraging evolution to pulse variety development in Western Canada, and we're pretty excited to be a part of that. So we already have licensed a couple of lentil varieties as well as a yellow pea variety, and are working on seed increase. So those products are going to be coming to farmers real soon.
Great stuff. So I'm sure that you have thought for a while now what this first 90 days is going to look like. I'm sure it's going to be a bit of a whirlwind. You're fortunate enough, like you said, 22 years in the organization, so you know a lot of the stakeholders internally and externally. But what does the first 90 days look like for you?
Yeah, a lot of it is going to be, doing a lot of listening. I've got a lot of feedback I'm looking for from my colleagues. Even though I've been with the organization for a long time, I don't want to take anything for granted. I don't want to make any assumptions that I know. All of the nuances. I've been primarily focusing on our cereals and pulses business for the last 5 years, as well as to a degree on our marketing side. But our canola business is still such a critical component of our commercial success. And there are some of our distribution partners and suppliers that I want to make sure that I spend some quality time with over these first 3 months or so. And so, that'll be a big part of it. It's just a lot of listening, a lot of asking questions. And I really am planning to take the approach of I'm new here. I want to use this transition and change of leadership from one CEO to the next as an opportunity, not just for myself to think differently, but for our entire team to think differently.
Like as you mentioned, you've been in the cereal and the pulse business as of late, but obviously the canola business plays a very key role in Canterra Seeds' business plan. Access to genetics, make sure you've got top end flight genetics to bring to the farmer. Any things you're focusing on there in terms of the future?
Yeah, well, for one point is that we rely exclusively on partnerships. We are not a vertically integrated business in the form of where we have our own canola breeding activities. We work very collaboratively in partnership with multiple plant breeding organizations. And so that vertically coordinated activity is something that we have to focus on across the organization. And so, looking at those multiple partners for access to diverse genetics will be, continue to be, whether it's a new packaging approach, those are all things that we're going to be looking very closely on with our operations team. But the one thing that won't change is our commitment to high quality and high standards and customer service.
As you're sitting here talking, Brent, I think back to maybe that was 22 years ago. Of course, I've had a long time association with Canterra Seeds as my former seed retailer days and seed grower days. It's a long time for both of us since, having a drink in the hospitality room and two young bucks kind of new to the industry and looking forward. It's a pleasure here to talk to you on this launch here today, this announcement, and wish you nothing but the best.
Well, I appreciate that, Sean, and I vividly remember some of our first encounters and the great fun that we've had together. But it quite frankly has been, quite a journey, and I'm so privileged to be working in agriculture, but also in the seed industry. It's people like you and so many others that really doesn't make it feel like work at all. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to taking on this new role and responsibility with Canterra Seeds.
Great stuff. Well, hey, Brent, thanks so much for joining us here today. I'm sure you've got a whole lineup of stuff here to do today on day one. So all the best to you, and thanks a lot for joining us here for the announcement.
Thanks again, Sean. Appreciate it.